Hello, I'm Martin Brown. I'm the Safety and Compliance Director for the West Somerset Railway plc, and we're going to talk a bit today about some of the work we've been doing to start to get the railway back to some form of operation. When COVID-19 really hit us and we had to lock down on March the 23rd, almost everything stopped. We couldn't get staff in, they were prevented from coming in. We had the benefit of the furlough scheme and they could come in, they could then start to come in, but only recently. And we needed our staff to actually help with our volunteers, because what we were absolutely certain we were going to do was we were going to do things safely, we were going to follow the government guidelines, and we were going to make certain that as we did start, we knew we'd start at some point, but as we did start, we'd do that in a way that kept all our volunteers, all our staff safe and healthy. We were not going to put anybody at risk. So we're going to talk a bit today about what we've been doing, certainly what we've been doing more recently, and show you what we've been doing around the railway. Another part of getting the railway back in a fit state has been to get the cutting back team back. And they've been starting to do work along the railway in different locations. Here's a team that's been working out from Williton at Teddy Bears Crossing. So during the lockdown, Jeff Cross and a team of the station masters have been looking at station security. They've been getting people to come in and do a regular check. This is something quite a few of the railways have done. It allows people to come out, and it definitely does help deter people from being around the railways and keeps them away. More recently, we've started getting the gardeners back. It was important that we could maintain social distance with what they were doing. They found that actually easier than perhaps we thought when we started. But they've started to come back and started to get the gardens to look in the sort of state that we expect around West Somerset Railway. They're really starting to be quite good, and of course it's at this time of the year that they often look at their best anyway. The building and maintenance team are back. They've started doing repairs and maintenance work on the buildings, and RAMS have started to start making some repairs as well. They're looking at doing some work on the stations, but also doing some work in getting ready for bringing passengers back into the service. Individual maintenance tasks have been done by volunteers, and it's starting to make certain that the railway can be in the best state it can. It may be that we'll see trains running this year, we maybe not, but we do want it to look good when we do start in March next year. So the people from the Trust have been working on the museum. The main museum, the Gauge Museum down at Bishop's Lydeard, is now almost refurbished. It was a big programme from there with money from the Lotteridge Heritage Fund. It will certainly be in a good state when we get people back in. Maybe it may be in the next few weeks. Obviously, one of the other things that we needed to do was to actually start to clear the track in the forefoot and out into the cess. Now, the chemical cleaning process that we've had before, that chemical weeding and weed killing, is quite an expensive process. And I wasn't sure it was the best thing to do by the time we got to be able to get the train back. So we developed a system for doing it by hand. And this manual weed removal is actually very effective for putting out some quite large roots. What we've done, we started in the Crocombe area, in the platform area there. We found that we could deal with that quite well. Then we moved into areas of larger weeds that were down by Bishop's Lydeard. And we've now had a couple of parties there. We're able to do between about 250 and 350 metres in a 2 to 3 hour session. Depends a bit on how bad the weeds are. But while it's going to be quite a challenge to do the whole railway, it's actually looking to be quite an effective method. So if anybody does like to take part in this, would like to be part of it, you can contact me on my email address for the West Somerset Railway, and I'll put you in touch with the gangs that we're putting together to do the individual areas.